Introduce myself. I'm Weston Borghese. I probably started working here in 2007, maybe like springtime of 2007. So I had this sort of romanticized idea of being a soda jerk based off of like old films and stuff, and I thought, oh, I could get really good at like tossing the cups and things just from a vaudevillian sort of point of view. So I was just unboxing all the like fresh deliveries or whatever at the time. But this particular box I pulled out was, the whole sucker was actually my head, my face. You know, I'm working as a soda jerk for $10 an hour. In the meantime, all these companies and things are making tens of thousands of dollars are made off of my image, and I never saw a dime. You know, I'm working for $10 an hour as a soda jerk, and I take out these suckers, and I'm just like, I'm a sucker. Yeah, so this is the bathroom stall.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Fucking hilarious.
That's great to see.
And then like, this was one that popped up a bunch.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that one a couple times.
Yeah, Whack a Snob. So yeah, my meme was called either Rich Guy or Snob.
Yeah.
This is the place from Czech Republic. This is my favorite one. I grew up watching, like, really liking Charlie Chaplin. When I got back into silence as an adult, I got to be a fan of Buster Keaton.
I love Buster Keaton.
And my band wrote 2 original scores to Buster Keaton films and performed them live at the Alamo, the original Alamo. I was like super fucking hungover one day, like just like couldn't keep anything down. And so I was just on the fucking couch all day and surfing channels, and I came to Turner Classic Movies, and I just started watching it, and then I just kept watching film after film, and after that, like, so by the time when I moved here, I was just obsessed, and it's like, in my 20s, it's like all I watched were black and white films. When I did my band White Ghost Shivers, we were all ex-punks and metalheads, and so we were wanting to play old pre-World War II music. And we were taking all these different styles: early jazz, Western swing, early blues, like early calypso, Hawaiian music, like Eastern European klezmer music. So we'd mix it all and we'd write our own original music. And then that like led me and then I started watching silent films and stuff like that. So then I started taking a lot of those silent film comedy characters and incorporating it into my character on stage. I don't even remember taking this photo because we took so many that day. And there was one where it's just like me, just like kind of like, and then there's another one with the pipe where I'm like doing that. My band at the time, I was playing in White Ghost Shivers. Our manager, Danielle, she basically approached us and was like, hey, I stock photos in town setting up at the Blue Genie, and I got a deal where they'll take a bunch of photos and video and for their stock photography website, and you guys will get free photos and videos out of it. And at the time, I didn't even know what stock photography meant on the internet. And she's like, yeah, you know, they'll just take a bunch of photos and they'll have them as like stock on their website, and companies or people, individuals can come and buy them, pay a one-time fee, and then use that photo for whatever. She's like, but no one will ever actually use your image. And so we're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Anyways, we do the shoot, and iStock Photo never held up their end of the deal. And in the meantime, everyone starts using my image, and they make tons of money off of me. I mean, I think iStock Photo made at least 10 grand off my image, and that doesn't count everybody else who used the image. in Lawrence, Kansas, and we didn't have a place to stay. And so halfway through the set, I'm like, hey, we're looking for a place to stay. If anybody has a place for us to stay, we'll crash on your floor. This guy comes up to us afterwards, he's like, hey, we've got a vintage shop 2 doors down. I live right above it. You guys can stay there. We're like, fuck yeah. And he's like, also, do you guys like to dance? I know a dance party. And I was like, fucking let's go. At the time, my best friend Zach and I, we were just always like riding our bikes and going to dance parties all the time. But like at the time, it was when like Franz Ferdinand was coming out. A lot of that like 80s revival shit with like the disco beat was coming out, but we weren't really into that. And so he takes us to this dance party at this place called the Tap Room, and you go downstairs, and I come in, and it's like the small little downstairs basement party, and they're playing nothing but soul 45s, like northern soul 45s, and they're putting baby powder on the floor, which I was used to doing from swing dancing. And I was like, cool. And so then we ended up just like cutting the fucking rug, having a great time, and after that night I was like, dude, Austin needs something like this, but I want to do a wider range of musical styles, because at the time I was like really into doo-wop and girl groups and ska and like New Orleans R&B, garage.
But that was the inspiration.
That was the inspiration. So I came back and I was like inspired, and that's when I was hanging out down the street with my buddies. And we did it for 10.5 years. It was just a dance party.
But it's like 60s, 50s, right?
It was all 50s and 60s obscure, so not like the hits. But it was all vinyl. Fucking packed house, line
really?
line up the door. My girlfriend wakes me up with this door hanger in my face, and you know, he's sleepy-eyed and he can't tell at first, and he's like, what's going on? And there's this door hanger, and it's got that photo of the pipes, and I'm going, you know, that, and it's got a little dialogue bubble that says, you know how to get ahead in advertisement? Door hangers, my boy, door hangers. And there was that photo, and we were all just like, what the fuck? Because we didn't think it would ever be used for anything. We kind of forgot about it. Yeah, and then it just kind of went ballistic from there. remembered as a meme and say maybe not all the other great things that I've done or whatnot. It's kind of like, it is what it is. What can you do about it? Like, if I can if people remember me for that photo and that like leads them to other things that I do or whatnot, then what the hell? And the thing is, like I tell people all the time, when people get upset for me about this, I'm like, well, I signed a model release. Like, yes, I didn't get money for any of that. No, iStock Photo didn't hold up their bargain, but I did sign a model release, so that was something I did, not thinking it would be used for anything. But had I never signed that model release, the photo would have never been taken, the story would never be out there, and we wouldn't be here talking about it now. But because I signed it, we're here talking about it. And who knows? One day maybe this meme will lead to something else. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting. It's like, had I never signed that, and here's the thing, like, when I first went out on my own when I was young, I was like, I made a conscious choice of saying yes to as many things as possible because I wanted to have an interesting life. I wanted to have an interesting story. So to me, it's like, well, it's just another chapter, another wacky chapter in this story. So I try to look at it in a positive spin. Otherwise, I'll just be grumpy about it all my life. Kind of like people asking my height 5 to 10 times a day. Like, you got to have you got to be a good sport about it. Otherwise, you're just gonna be grumpy for the rest of your life.
How tall are you?
7 feet, or 2 and 3, or 2 and 13 meters. My life hasn't changed drastically since, say, I worked here or playing music here. I was still DJing when I was here and playing music and playing like old pre-war jazz, still doing that. But it has changed quite a bit. I mean, I've made a lot of positive changes, mind, body, and spirit-wise. I don't play in that band White Ghost Shivers, which was a big part of my life back then, but I still play with some of those bandmates and very similar styles of music. Back then, I was DJing mostly vinyl and doing this thing called the Second Sunday Sock Hop. Now I don't do that. I still do vinyl, but I've gotten more into like, the modern contemporary digital DJing, which I really have been loving. It's just kind of infinite what you can do. Really, I mean, my philosophy in that's never really changed, is just do what makes you happy. And that's basically what I've been sticking to, is I just make sure in whatever I'm doing that it's making me happy, bringing me joy. I can't sell out if I try. Like, if I don't enjoy what I'm doing, I'm not gonna do it. So it's got some pros and cons. I've always been a very happy, balanced person, but at the same time, my focus has never been money. So, that can, so often I just get by, but I've always had a great time doing it. And my dad said it perfectly when my grandma was asking about me some years back. She's like, "Oh, I'm just always so concerned about Weston, how he's doing." My dad said in a very nice, sort of backhanded, complimentary way, he said, "Oh, well, he's really artsy and doesn't make a lot of money, but he seems pretty happy." I was like, "Yeah, that sums it up." Yeah.
You cut your own hair?
Yeah, I cut my own hair. Yeah, actually, I was just looking. It's getting kind of fuzzy right here. Probably need to cut it today or tomorrow.